For me, restorative circles are a community self-care process. It's about community self-care. So it really is something that a community can use and set up a restorative system to help them really care for the quality of their connections, their relationships, and out of that build more well-being. Well, this was developed by my friend and colleague Dominic Barter in the favelas in Brazil. And as you may know, the favelas are a place where the sort of formal justice system doesn't function at all or very well. And so it really grew out of Dominic working with the people who live in this community and trying to figure out together how can we work with the level of conflict in our lives? What can we do that we could try to create a different kind of community where we strengthen how we live together and be together, rather than having this ongoing conflict that keeps tearing us apart in so many different ways. So it really was an organic process that grew out of people really trying to find a way themselves to work with their own conflicts and learn from them and move beyond them. As it supports people in conflict to really be able to get first clear for themselves what's going on in a deeper way than if we're kind of just yelling back and forth to each other. That doesn't happen as often. And then also really enables us to hear each other differently. So it helps us to hear each other in a way that really enables people to begin to kind of open up to other possibilities in the stories I might have about you if I'm in conflict with you. It really enables me to hear you in a way that can change that or transform my stories. And I begin to see a human being in front of me instead of a selfish person or a jerk or that particular group that's not human. I think the ability to really hear each other in a different way, that's really, to me, the heart of it, is that we can really transform our enemy images, our stories about others, and really see the human being in front of us. It doesn't mean we're going to like what you said or did, but I see the human being behind what you said or did. And similarly, you can see that in me. And when that understanding happens, then it's much easier for us to find, strategies or solutions that would work for both of us, so that we could truly, move forward in our way we're relating in a way that works for us and that has more harmony and more effectiveness. For me, anywhere that community is happening, I mean, it can be in neighborhoods and villages. It can be in schools. It's being used in the formal justice system in variety of ways, sometimes with youth justice issues, first-time offenders, but it's possible to use in other ways, in prisons and things. In church communities or faith communities, a lot of them are using it as a way to live their values and their principles even when their conflict arises. And I think this process really gives us a structure that's really concrete, that can enable us to really use conflict to recognize, to learn from it, to say, conflict's letting us know that some way that we're relating as a group isn't quite working as well as it could. And so this process helps us to explore that and maybe discover ways or strategies that we could relate differently that would be even more effective for all of us, bring more well-being, more harmony within our community.